inspired to share with you what I'm doing right now to reboot myself since I am recovering from a big overseas move from Maui to Austin. I'm 5 weeks in, and I kind of had to stay in the moment and just be present with everything in Maui before I could fly out of there. And I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this side of things over here in Austin, although I did some. And then I expected things to be a little bit easier here. And so I didn't realize I kind of hit the ground running with just figuring out, where am I and where's my tribe, and where do I plug into so I can be functional on a daily basis with my lifestyle and all that. So it was more work than I expected. And without going into any more of it, there was definitely some trauma there, an adjustment period, a little much bigger than I expected. So anyway, I thought I'd share, okay, what is it that I'm doing to reset my nervous system, to self-care, self-love practices on multiple levels, so that when you're exhausted or burnt out, you know what to do to get yourself back online to your best self. So thank God I have a background in nutritional cutting edge supplements and nutrition, and as well as spiritual practices and all the things that help this. And, this is one of the things that when I consult with someone and I'm coaching them, I have so many skill sets that I bring to the table to help someone up level their life wherever they're at. And I love being able to bring this in, and there's way more stuff than I'm going to actually be mentioning today, because it just goes on and on and on as far as all the ways you can support yourself and what you can do to help yourself bounce back faster. So we're going to go over some of it. So there's a few different angles here. Nutritionally and supplement wise, I was asking myself in the last few days, what can I do to help my body bounce back faster from this exhaustion and burnout? Because it's kind of like when or a workaholic, or when you've been doing too much because you had to meet a deadline or something, and then you kind of need to recover afterwards, and it's easier said than done because it's kind of like your body's jacked up. And it's not so easy to reboot the adrenal glands, and they're more of a slow healer type gland in the body. And so I was like, all right, I am doing the extra rest and I'm not working yet. And yet this is a slow process and I need to help it along. So what can I do? And so I got out all my tools from my tool belt and whatnot. So what that looks like, or what it can look like for you, is I did go and there's any number of things that, help things. There are adrenal supports that you can get at the health food store, or get from Amazon. Definitely, gosh, there's definitely higher quality ones, compared to ones that are not as effective. So I'm not going to go into that too much. So that's a whole nother side note. But I will say that Gaia herbs, for instance, as far as tinctures go, is a good one. And so there's certain herbs like ashwagandha, rhodiola, cordyceps mushroom. What else did I get? A lot of times male formulas, those kind of things that have like ginseng in them and that support testosterone, like DHEA and sarsaparilla, saw palmetto. Those are all enhancing of testosterone, which we all tend to be low in these days. So it helps reboot you back up and have more energy. I also have been using more of my royal jelly because that's what the queen bee eats. It is great for energy. Like, it's a total replacement for coffee if you're wanting to get off coffee and caffeine in general. I get it in a form from a company called Be Alive, BEE Alive, um, out of New York, that makes makes it in the most affordable form I think they have still, if it's still the case. They mix it with the honey itself, and then you literally can take like a teaspoon or a tablespoon and just like come back to life big time. So I usually kind of mix it with my drinks and you know, drop that honey version of it that I get, um, into a drink that or if I'm really dragging, I can just, drop it straight into my mouth. Um, that's a great one because it's just full of nutrients and B vitamins. So B vitamins is another one. I've always had to take B vitamins daily because I just tend to run low. Uh, it's really good for when you're stressed, to handle it. And so the B complex is like, all the B vitamins in one. And I got a tincture because, you can just drop it under your tongue and it's like immediately goes into your system, as opposed to taking a pill that has to go through your digestive system first before it gets into your system. Um, what else do I want to say about supplements? There's so many. Like hornbeam, for instance, is a homeopathic that helps you have more get up and go. Horn, it can actually, be good for men, meaning kind of horny, like get you up, erect and going again, somewhat. These are natural remedies. There's always a natural remedy out there for anything, and they're much more conducive to the body. And let's see, what else do I want to say, if anything, about supplementation? I mean, obviously, like a multivitamin, mineral, just the basics, right, have to be there. Anything green, like green powders and stuff, is just life force energy. I did invest in getting a set of fresh squeezed juices, a variety pack from this company here in Austin called Daily Juice, because it's alive. It's like, if you want to be alive, you have to eat alive foods, not dead foods like canned food. So, juicing is one of those things that's like, it's just really potent and alive, and it goes straight into your body, and it's amazing. And it just feels so much more enlivening to have that than most things that you might ingest. Okay, so that's enough as far as that side of things. There's other ways to reboot yourself. Obviously, I'm having to also take naps and just go to bed early when I can. Schedule varies from day to day. And then there's things like this. So when you burn out your adrenals, or are in exhaustion mode, unfortunately it does lower your vibration. And I know for me, and a lot of you will relate to this, it can go straight from exhaustion to depression really fast. So there's a link there that I don't like, which makes me very mindful of not getting too tired, because it just doesn't work for me. I just don't function well when I'm tired. Some people can get away with it. Good for them. I just don't. As an empath, I have to be well rested, or I just don't function the same. Like I just get brain dead, or I'm just not able to be my best self, and so forth. So there's this thing now that I think that's going to be becoming more and more aware, um, or known by people, of resetting their nervous system. So what happens when you're in go mode, or workaholic mode, or moving mode, or going through a divorce mode, or trauma mode, is that you go into fight or flight. And if you're on that mode for too long, whether it's days, weeks, or months, your body gets used to being in that stress state, and it's hard for it to shift gears and to calm down and restore itself. So I literally was in go mode for, let's see, June, July, August, September. So, almost 4 months now, when of moving, the whole, all that goes into moving overseas. A lot of logistics and packing and selling and that kind of thing. So that's a long time to be in workaholic go mode, right? So I'm having to do a little bit more than I normally have to around self care. And it's humbling because as an alpha female, I always want to be go, 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 accomplish, getting high on all the good stuff that I'm doing and being at my best and shining, right? And so it's like, oh, what do you do when you're like wiped out and needing to like help yourself come back to life?